Hi everybody. So we've been learning about sunflowers this week, and we read a story about Van Gogh and a boy named Camille and sunflowers. Camille gave Van Gogh a bouquet of them because they lived near fields of them. And they wilted, which means they died, but before that, Van Gogh painted some sunflowers and gave it to Camille. So that bouquet lasted forever because it was a painting. And this is one of his versions. I don't know if it's that bouquet. And you'll notice that he has some oranges and reds. Those are all warm colors. They're like the sun. They're warm. And he also is using some cool colors in the background, which are greens and blues and purples. And they're cool because think of like trees and water and just cool things are represented by purple, blue, and green. And then these would be the warm colors. So I'm going to show you how to do some sunflowers. And we have a few things you're going to use. I'm going to try to keep my screen going up and down. This is a piece of watercolor paper, and it's thicker than regular paper because it's made to absorb the water from watercolor. And then I have a little set of watercolors, and you can see there are colors ranging from the warm colors to cool colors, and then there's some brown and black. And I have a little brush in there. That little brush is for really small details, and I don't think you're going to need it for this project, but if you want to use it, that's fine. But what you are going to need is a brush that's thicker because it's going to be easier to paint large parts of the paper. And then we have a little cup of water, which I've already practiced some painting. That's why it's pink. So the other thing you'll have are some pastels. And I'm going to start with my vase. And I want my vase to be purple. So I'm going to bend this down here. And I'm going to look at the paper. And I don't want it to be too tall because I want there to be room for the sunflower. So I'm going to find about halfway. And I'm going to go about like this. And I'm going to make a big U. And I'm not going to touch the bottom. I'll tell you why in a second. And this is kind of a crooked U, and that's okay. I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to go. Then with my blue crayon, I'm going to make a table. And I'm not going to color this in yet. So then I'm going to go up here, and I want you to look at those sunflowers. Do you see how the centers of them are all in different positions around the vase? They're not in a row. They're in different positions because they're all hanging. Some are even hanging over. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pick a center color. And, here's my black. I'm going to choose black and red, maybe. They're going to have some different colors just because he had different colors. So, go like this. And I'm not going to put them all in a line. They're going to be in different positions. Some up here. There's a couple red. Actually, I'm going to put a little red around this one. And then some of them are just going to have a red center with maybe black around it. I'll do opposite. Okay? And also, he had some down here because it was kind of hanging over the side. So does that look like a sunflower right now? Not at all. But I have to now decide on the petals. And if you look at the petals, kind of like flames. They're not all perfect in a row. They have lots of different, it looks like there's motion to them, like how this one's falling. And they're using oranges and yellows and some red and some green for the leaves and the other parts. Now you can choose to do colors other than yellow and orange, but if you want it to look like a sunflower, then I would choose those. But I'm also going to let you have your own artistic license. That means you can make it look how you want it to look. So I'm going to choose my oranges and some yellow. And I'm going to make them both. I'm going to kind of go up like this. And they're not all going to be the same. This one is going to I'm just going to get it to fit in. Okay, so before I put on any leaves, and you got to be careful, you don't want your hand to rush across and rub. And I'm thinking I'm going to stop for a second and I'm going to use some green because I think that I'm going to put some green in there just like he did. Okay. Then I want a yellow one here because there are yellow, and I'm going to put some more. Let's see, I have a couple more here. A couple more eyes or centers. doesn't. And let's see, this one's gonna go like this. And I might even put a couple down here like it's fallen. But I'm gonna take my green and it's gonna connect them. Like that. I'm not loving the yellow one, but I'm not gonna worry about it either. And this one, I'm gonna put some green like there. I feel like I need something in the center. Just like he has some nice big ones in the center there, I feel like I'm going to need that too. And they're going to cover up my vase. So I'm going to make this a bigger center. And they're kind of, this one is a little different. Kind of have oranges around it like this. And then some petals that go out. And this one is like falling over. And it's going to cover up some of my vase. And I'm not going to see maybe the orange so much. So I'm going to put another one in, and it's just going to be right here. Because there's a big old gap, and that gap is bothering me. So do you see how I'm covering up the leaf or the stem? That's okay. It's going to be nice and full. So you can decide how many you're going to put in there. Okay. Now I'm going to use a little bit of the purple. Oh, yes, I need to color them in, and I'm just going to do it lightly because I'm going to use the paint, and it will resist against the pastel. Pastels are a little oilier than crayons, and it will make the water kind of pop off a little bit. So I'm just going to do little bits, just like that. I think it needs another one right there, you guys. It's just bothering me, that big hole. So I'm going to put it there. I don't have anybody here to tell me, hey, you should do this or you should do that. I'm just kind of using my own judgment here. And there's, I'm just going to stick a leaf, and I got to color